Hello and welcome to the next class on HVDC transmission and facts. In the last class, we have seen the limitations of HVDC transmission. Today, we will see certain fundamental concepts related to power electronic devices. These concepts will be required by you when we study different converters. As I told you earlier, both the HVDC device and facts device require extensive use of power electronics, and power electronics converters basically, and the power electronic converters are made up of certain switches or devices. For example, the SCR, the GTO, MOSFET, IGBT, etc. Now, as far as the GTO, IGBT, etc. is concerned, these are called as the turn-off devices because these devices can be turned on as well as off with the help of a gate signal. Whereas SCR is called as a turn-on device because this device can only be turned on with the help of SCR. In order to turn off the SCR, we need something called as a commutation technique. Okay. There are different commutation techniques as listed out here. They are called as class A commutation, class B, class C, and so on. This commutation technique or these commutation techniques you have studied or you will be studying in the power electronics subject. Basically, firing and commutation are the terms which are used with respect to the devices, because when we turn on any device, when we turn on any switch, we call it as the switch is set on fire, and if we want to turn off the switch, we say that we are quenching the fire or we are stopping the fire. So to stop the fire, we need a commutation technique, and to start the fire, we need a firing technique. In SCRs or in thyristors, we need external commutation techniques, which is also called as the line commutation. Whereas for GTO, MOSFET, IGBT, we don't need any external commutation technique. We use something called as self-commutation, and this is done by using a negative gate signal. That means we provide a negative pulse to the gate. This negative pulse to the gate ensures that the switch turns off. That's why GTO, MOSFET, IGBT are also known as the turn-off devices, whereas SCR is called as a turn-on device. Now, let us talk about two standard controllers which are used in HVDC as well as in facts controllers. There are two controllers which are used in HVDC as well as in facts. What are these two controllers? These two controllers are the VSC. VSC stands for voltage source converter. VSC stands for voltage source converter. What is a voltage source converter? So it is a set of power electronic devices arranged in a particular topology inside a system. For example, this box represents the voltage source converter. So what are the characteristics of the voltage source converter? There are two sides of any converter. One will be a DC side, another will be the AC side. So in a voltage source converter, on the DC side, we have a capacitor. Okay, and on the AC side, we have an inductor which is connected. In the voltage source converter, the active power is either given to the AC side or it is taken from the AC side. And this give and take of the active power is based on the change in direction of current. Please note this point. The give and take of the active power is controlled by controlling the direction of DC current, whereas the direction of this DC voltage always remains fixed. This is the characteristics of a voltage source converter. Direction of voltage will remain always one polarity. If this is minus, this is plus, it will remain the same always. If you want to send power out, DC current will be going out. If you want to take the power in from AC side, DC power will be having this polarity. The current will be having this polarity, right? Whereas on AC side, we have the large inductor to control the large currents. This capacitor on the DC side maintains the voltage at this point constant. So this is the speciality of the voltage source converter. In contrast, we have a current source converter. In a current source converter, on the DC side, we have a large inductor and the current polarity remains constant always. In a voltage source converter, we had fixed voltage polarity. In current source converter, we have a fixed. So here on DC side, we have a fixed polarity of voltage and variable polarity of current. Here on DC side, we have fixed polarity of current. Only current will go in this direction and voltage polarity can be changed. So by changing the voltage polarity down or up, we can get the active power in or out. So both these converters are used in power systems by HVDC and by FACTS. But the modern converter is the voltage source converter. There are many advantages of voltage source converter. That's why it is being used extensively both by HVDC and flexible AC transmission system. So here is a short comparison of the current source converter and the voltage source converter. The inductor is used in DC side in a current source converter. Here capacitor is used in voltage source converter. Current source converter is basically a constant current kind of a converter, whereas voltage source converter is a constant voltage kind of a converter. The losses in current source converters are higher because there is a large inductor which is there. Voltage source converter is more efficient. The control is fast and accurate in current source converter. Now this is a old comparison basically. Now even voltage source converters have a better control. Of course, current source converters are large and more expensive, and these are smaller and less expensive. More fault tolerant and more reliable current source converters because they use large inductor on the DC side. So sudden change of current is not possible. And current source converter can be expanded in series and this can be expanded in parallel. So this is the basic comparison. We'll be going through the details once again when we go through the facts topic. Once again we'll go through all these details. Now we come to the straight away to the HVDC. So I have just taken these basics because I'll be talking about these converters many times. I'll be talking about the SCR, GTO, MOSFET, I'll say turn on device, turn off device, line commutation, self commutation. I'll be talking about VSC, CSC again and again. So you should have a brief idea about that. That's why I have initially spoken about these things. Now let us talk about the HVDC link. Now there are different types of HVDC link. First type of HVDC link is called as a monopolar HVDC link. What is a monopolar HVDC link? It has only one conductor and it uses either ground and C return or ground and C return. That means either you can use ground and C or ground or C. Right? So there is a single conductor. Usually the conductor is with negative polarity. So you have AC system here. You have a converter. You have only one conductor which is having negative polarity. It goes to the other side. This is the transmission line. On other side you have another converter which will convert DC to AC, and you have another controller here, another transformer which will convert DC to AC. And the return path is either through the ground or through the C. You can also use a metallic return if there are concerns of harmonic interference and corrosion. Why we use this negative conductor? Because the corona effects are less with the negative polarity as compared to the positive polarity. So that's why the monopolar link is normally operated with negative polarity. Now monopolar link is good in theory, but in practice we use bipolar links. I'll tell you why we do this. But this is a possible solution for HVDC, right? Where you use only one conductor and ground or C as the return, or sometimes you can use metallic return as well. We use negative polarity because it has less corona effect. Now this corona is not related to COVID. This corona is an electrical phenomena of ionization of air near the conductor because of the high voltage. Okay, this causes electrical loss. So electrical loss due to corona are less if we use the negative polarity. Then the other classification of HVDC link can be a bipolar link. In the bipolar link, we use two conductors, one positive, another negative. So here you can see the bipolar link. So the upper conductor can be called as the positive conductor, lower conductor can be called as the negative conductor. Each terminal has two sets of converters of equal rating. So there is one converter here for one conductor, another converter for another conductor. Same thing on the other side. So there are two sides of the transmission line. On both sides we have two conductors each. Right? The junction between the two sets of converter is grounded at one or both the ends. So this junction point where both the converters are meeting is ground. Now these are also called as the poles. Now they operate with equal current. So the upper line or the upper pole is having current I, lower line will work as the return of that current, so I. So generally under steady state condition, the current which flows through this ground will be 0. Okay. Monopolar operation can also be used in the first stages of development of a bipolar link. So while you are working on a HVDC line initial development, you can use a single conductor as monopolar, or else if there is a faulty converter condition, instead of one conductor you can use, instead of two conductors you can use one conductor temporarily as a monopolar link. Right? So we have seen the monopolar HVDC link and the bipolar HVDC link. Then third is called as a homopolar HVDC link. Okay, what is a homopolar HVDC link? In the homopolar link, two conductors having the same polarity, and as I told you earlier, negative polarity gives you less corona effect. So two conductors having the same polarity, usually negative, can be operated with ground or metallic return. Now due to the undesirability of operating a DC link with the ground return, bipolar links are mostly used. So but the homopolar link has the advantage of reduced insulation cost, but disadvantage of earth return, and because of that it outweighs the advantages. So theoretically all these things are options are possible. Theoretically all three options are possible. That means you can go for a monopolar link, you can go for a bipolar link, and you can as well go for a homopolar link, right? But the most commonly used is the bipolar link. So the bipolar link is the link which is which you can see now in the, if you go on to the Power Grid Corporation of India's website and if you search the HVDC links in India, you will find that most of the links are bipolar links. So we have this Chandrapur to Padge bipolar link, right? Of course these HVDC links will cost much less as compared to the three-phase AC systems if the distance is above 500 km. Moving on, we can see the HVDC converter station layout. I'll just show you the layout here. We'll discuss it in detail in the next class. So here is the AC bus that you have. Then we connect a AC filter to filter out the filter is required in order to support the reactive power. Then we have a transformer, then converter. So transformer will transform the voltage to the desired voltage level. We have a converter which will convert AC into DC via a control system. Then we'll have a smoothing reactor to control the quality of current, and after this DC power will go via the transmission network or the cable, and the same kind of network will be at the receiving end. Okay, so here you can see the detailed diagram which is shown here, wherein all the diagram is labeled properly. You can read the labels. So this one is a 12 pulse converter, this 2 is a transformer, and so on. Okay, so then there are smoothing reactors, DC filters, okay, tuned AC filters, and high pass AC filters. These are tuned AC filters, high pass AC filters, right students? So we'll see this slide in more details and further components in the next class. Till then, attempt the attendance quiz please. Thank you.